Welcome back to Bros in a Landfill, the only podcast where we tell the story of collapsing the dystopian future
Oh
of a
shit. Oh fuck.
civilization.
That's what we're doing?
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
That's right. We're not ashamed of it anymore. We're just doing nerd shit now.
yeah.
Yeah!
This week, instead of doing our typical podcast, we have Tar and Lunch here to join me in playing a little board game I picked up called Icarus. Now, you might be asking, how the fuck do you play a board game on an audio only podcast when you guys are in completely different parts of the world? Well, dear viewer, I respect your concern, and I say this. Fuck you, this is a storytelling board game. It's role-playing light. It's a game called Icarus. And it's quite literally a story, a game where you tell the story of this city named Icarus, the civilization, this amazing civilization named Icarus, and the final, and the story of how it collapses, because all great civilizations eventually collapse.
That's true.
So while this is an audio, we've got our own little reference sheet that we've got pulled up. You guys won't have to see it. It's not gonna be pretty and whatnot, but we're gonna be using that to keep track of some of the physical aspects. I have the physical version with me right here, all the chords, all the prompts, and all that jazz. So and I'll explain the rules as we go through. But you guys are in for a ride. Both times I've played this, it's been kind of nutty. Because while the premise and whatnot is kind of pretentious, like, oh yes, all great civilizations fall apart, blah blah blah. Like, it gets kind of nutty if you're playing with the right people. So sit back, enjoy, grab some chips, be that person who's obnoxiously chewing them in the background during a roleplay session, and have a fun time.
All right.
So, the first thing we need to do
Okay, now
in the
what?
game of Icarus, the first thing we need to do is decide on a setting. So we know the city is named Icarus, but what the fuck and when the fuck and where the fuck is Icarus?
Oh, okay. I thought that
So I would
parameter
say-
might be set already. Okay.
No, it's not. The game's just a bunch of prompts for you to play around with, and it like
Okay.
RNGs, like cards and dice rolls, with how a situation's playing out. I would say, for example, the first game I play, like the booklet that comes with it has a bunch of example ones. So like there's like fantasy, high future. There's like a other jazz. I recently played with some friends. We did this really absurd like human cross like this civilization that was where humans and fish and mech suits lived in harmony. So
I think Icarus is a floating city in the sky.
Floating city in the sky.
and let's see. So it's a floating city in the sky. So obviously it has technology that allows it to float. Is that technology so is it a more advanced, or is this some sort of like magic that's helping it?
I'll let Tara
What if
answer
it's
that
clockwork?
question. Oh, there we
Clockwork-
go.
So a clockwork city. So we're going almost like a bit more of a steampunk sort of like
Oh
vibe.
hell yeah.
So a floating steampunk city named Icarus.
Dope.
Yeah, this seems appropriate.
So are we doing the full like faux like gentle the faux like high society sort of like
Yes,
like
slavery
both,
included.
yeah, slavery included. So it's
Oh,
it's
man.
both it's both very high class, high society, but also kind of like grimy and dirty at the same time.
Awesome.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say grimy and dirty because you can just toss all the trash off the side and who gives a shit.
True, that is very true.
Grime is for the
So
surface.
they are polluters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Polluters.
That's canon.
Okay. Yeah.
There are no rubbish
So-
bins in Icarus.
So I'm gonna just jot that down real fast. Make this nice and simple.
Yeah, jot that up, baby. I'm guessing this is.
I have no
pause
idea
of
how
the-
our city floats if it's all clockwork because gears are very heavy, but
It is. Yeah. So actually, that's a really good question. Like it clearly has some level of tech. I mean, if it's a steampunk city, obviously it's steam. It's staying afloat because of steam.
Steam-powered floating city.
Yes. It's just exuding enough steam.
that is very high pressure. I wonder how many children got lost to the building process.
I
Okay,
mean,
so the next step.
that's a staggering statistic for sure.
Yeah. So the next step is we have these cards called the Pillars of Society.
Okay.
I draw, shuffle them and draw for each player +1. So I'll just go through them. Each one will have a strength and a weak, like have a strength or a weakness, and I'll explain that as we go forward.
Okay.
So the first pillar is architecture. Its strength is the buildings within Icarus look like no other place on the planet. Or its weakness would be the buildings within Icarus have started to deteriorate.
Okay.
The next pillar is education. The citizens of Icarus are held to the highest standards within the education system, or the citizens of Icarus are taught only what they need to know. The third one is social structure. Icarus holds high those who embody what the city most values, or, in order to keep people in their place, Icarus has been divided into different social classes. And the final one is communication. Strength. A unique adaptation, invention, or approach in the city of Icarus has improved the way people communicate. Or the weaknesses. A unique adaptation, invention, or approach in the city of Icarus has had a negative impact on how effectively people communicate. So now we have these 4 pillars. What we need to do is the 3 of us need to determine which ones interest us, and like we'll all pick one. So like each of us will have one, like we'll pick one pillar, and then the final one will become the inspiration for the monument that will be built. Because that's another thing about Icarus right now is that it's building a monument,
Okay.
which is represented by die that are stacked.
Oh, okay.
So I just want. So so I'll open up for you guys. Does any of the pillars interest either of you guys specifically? And I can go through them again if you need.
I feel like the one that most strongly resonated with me is that we need to have the weak education.
Okay. So
Okay.
So we only get to have one weakness, but if lunch is fine, we can let you have education. We can determine that's the weakness.
Yeah, sure. For
Okay.
education.
Cool.
So weakness. Well, so I'll just drop that down, and we'll go more into like establishing that stuff before, but I wanted to make sure I get that down. Okay, so now we have architecture, communication, social structure. Which one do you want, Lunch?
Social structure.
Okay, and I think
I'm
I will
actually going to
take
go ahead and
communication.
edit this so that it's.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. So I took communication. That means inspiration is architecture. So
That makes
now our question is just to establish what is the purpose of the monument. It is being inspired by architecture, but is there any what is the purpose? Like what does this tower, this monument, what purpose does it serve?
It shows how big of a thing we can make without a city getting too heavy and falling over and dying. It is just a monument to ego, I guess.
It's a monument
so-
to how much steam we can fucking pressurize in our fucking steam tanks in the bottom.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah.
It's like a giant metallic
I'm
puff
thinking
of
kind of like an
smoke shape.
obelisk.
And people are like, "Is that a chef hat?" And it's like, "No, it's steam. Fuck you."
Okay, so can you say that one again?
It's like it's meant to be like a giant puff of steam, and it kind of looks like a chef's hat.
Oh wait, what? If it's supposed to be a puff of steam and we're forcing it downward, wouldn't it be more like a cowboy hat?
Oh, you're a genius. Of course. Why would the steam be going upwards? Yeah, people like it. Why did we build a monument to a giant cowboy hat? And it's like, shut up! You didn't learn properly in school. And they're like, well, the education sucks.
So next, the
So we
next steps is, 1 sec.
There we go.
Now we have to actually establish what the weaknesses are because it's got questions that come along with it.
Okay.
So what weaknesses, Drake? So we have our so we'll go through in order. I like starting with the weakness just because it's easy that way, for me.
Okay.
So the question that comes along with the weakness is, what important knowledge is being hidden for them and why? And this is a question for Tar. So,
I was just thinking. Well, okay, so we're in pseudo Victorian, except we're playing it a little bit more straight than other steampunk settings. So I was just thinking that due to the time period, there just isn't a whole lot of knowledge to spread on to the next generation.
hmm.
That was kind of what I was thinking. Although if there are better ideas out there, I will certainly hear them out.
Yeah. Well, let's consider like they clearly have the technology
Yeah.
where they're able to create a lot of steam to have the city float and whatnot. So there's some level of educate like technology available, but
Okay,
maybe
so
the
if we're
maybe
if we're
maybe
doing
the
steam, that means we need a lot of water.
Mhm.
So where the fuck are we getting the water from?
That's a really good question. Maybe the thing that they're hiding is the source of the steam. Maybe it's coming from some unsavory source.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, well, would the citizens of Icarus even know that there's a world below them?
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
So
Oh.
the citizens think that this is basically existence. This is all there
This
is.
this this is all there is.
And they don't know
Certainly going
how.
to lead to problems with inbreeding sooner or later, but
Whoa, that's a prompt.
That is crazy.
You blew
Now,
my mind.
lunch. You have social structure, correct?
Yes.
Your question is, what group of people are most respected and why?
Um. Well, I think only like the government understand the secret that there is more to the world than just the city, but they also are the ones who know how the city works and how steam works, and about the water and stuff. So like, I think to the citizens, the government is essentially God, and it's only in that system that anyone knows how to power all this stuff, and where all the
Mhm.
engineers can do their thing. So it's like
are
we
all the
give you,
engineers government workers?
yeah,
Yes, clearly.
and they all know the secrets.
They have to like swear to secrecy.
Yeah, what if we just say engineers are the the
Yeah.
highest respected thing because they're like the people who keep the city up.
So I put them as government engineers because obviously since they're government
Obviously.
workers. Just wanted to make sure that was clarified.
Yeah, and I think like being like getting into tinkering with stuff if you're not like a government agent who's signed a blood pact or some shit, like that's just illegal. You can get thrown off the place for poking around and trying to learn stuff. That's why the
Nice.
education's bad as well.
Yeah, see, we're working together. Now the third one is we have is communication.
That
So a unique approach
Trybien.
invention. Yeah. So I need to figure out what this invention of communication is. Now we're in this interesting situation where the people don't know there's a world below, and they're kind of kept in the dark about the truths of the world. So we have to find this balance where they can communicate to one another easily, but there's not easy like the communication doesn't create easy access for information.
I think maybe depending
Now,
on the materials, we since we are kind of set in pseudo Victorian, we could do something like a primitive telephone.
I was thinking same thing, but you know how we said this is like a very clockwork society?
Okay.
Yeah.
What if they developed their own sort of like Morse code slash language from clocks and time?
Oh, that's odd.
Like and that's why we have like all these clocks and stuff. Um like it's super high concept.
They
Yeah.
talk to each other with like clicks and clacks
Yeah, well
from
like
afar.
I would say for example like maybe like they have maybe the clocks around the city are they're not all like set to the same time, right? But like they all like measure time in the same extent, but like what if like people have like personal and individual watches and whatnot, or clocks like around that all have like different times shown on them, and like you can refer to those times as like important like important information like places, events and whatnot.
I'm
Like
struggling to wrap my head around this.
okay, okay, so let me put it this way. So think about like how like we have time zones like already. So like
Okay.
like with
Yep.
like with lunch, like he has whatchamacallit, like lunch like is like in the morning for us. So theoretically what we could do, what I could do is instead of saying lunch is in New Zealand, I could say the time right now, which is in New Zealand, and then the other person would know that it is New Zealand.
Okay.
So the places like the different like locations and locales, like different districts in Icarus, all run
okay.
on
All right.
different time, so that like instead of like saying place's name and whatnot, they say this time like and this amount of time later and whatnot.
Meet me at 7 p.m. The location or the time? If you know,
No, meet
you
me
know.
at 7 p.m. Well, it'd be like meet me at 7 p.m. in 3 hours.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
in 3 hours, 7 p.m. would.
Sure. All right.
So like
We'll run with it.
So like language has been simplified to be like to revolve around time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Okay. I understand it now. I think.
It's pretty high concept. I'm the
So,
one with the weird
all
idea,
right,
of
so
course.
let me just double check this. If you say meet me at 7 p.m. in 3 hours, 3 hours later, you would need to visit the place where it is 7 p.m.
Yes.
Excellent.
I actually like that. Okay. What's
And
next?
it's just a. Yep. So next now we have our motive cards. So the next part of the game is we got to create our characters. So, but to do that, we need to know what our characters' motives are. Now, the key thing to remember about your motives is that no matter what it is, your goal as a player is to tell the story. So, like, even if like it doesn't matter like what your motive is, you don't want to just like hijack the story or hijack other players. It's about having fun. So there are some like traitorous roles and whatnot.
Okay.
So so I'm gonna go from me, Tar to lunch.
Okay.
I mean, from Tar lunch to me.
Wait,
Oh, okay.
shit, I
So-
don't want to go first.
Okay, don't want to go first. I'll go reverse. I'll go first, and then I'll have Tar go last.
Okay, sick.
So my motive is to protect the leaders.
Okay.
Lunch's motive is preserve the city,
Okay.
and Tar's motive is to protect the citizens.
Okay.
And you can use your and then you can use your character box like under your
I'm just going to go ahead and
thing.
put myself under move character 3 then.
Well, you'd be under character 1 because you're under the weakness.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I've lined them up so the because the pillar matters. Because
Oh,
the next
okay.
the step
I
the
can't.
step
move-
after this is yep.
There we go.
You don't need to put your name there. The name goes like over the aspects later. I'll just move that for you.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. So let's just get these written in, and then we'll start the next step. So mine, yeah. So so let's see. Mine was I'm trying to remember exactly whose was whose now.
So, yeah, I
Tards was protect the
city.
citizens. Yeah, Lunch is preserve city, and I was protect the leaders. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Now the next step, we'll go through each of like we'll just write down these things, and then we'll talk about them afterwards. We take our motive as well as our pillar, and we create a character out of that. We like come up with a name, and then a short backstory / what they're trying to achieve / basically combining you combine the pillar with the motive to be like, oh, this is my character, and this is why they're doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna like, and that's gonna inform your decisions as you go forward.
Well,
So like for
Go ahead, try.
So I'd say for my example, like maybe language is simplified, so like and around time, so it's actually more difficult to have nuanced conversations. Therefore, it makes it harder for like a rebellion to form.
Okay. And
All
that
right.
how's that a character?
So I guess when I was like, so my character is going to be a character who he maybe my character is a linguist, and he is finding ways to further simplify the language.
Okay.
So we're just
further,
going to eventually devolve into double plus good.
yes. So I would say so. Like for example, like I would like my character is named. Do we want to have some sort of naming convention for our?
You name your character
characters
whatever you
or-
want, and I'll follow your lead.
Hell yeah,
Okay, cool.
hell yeah. So I'm gonna have to think of a name, but I've at least put for a backstory as he's a linguist who wants to simplify language to such a degree that questioning the government and forming rebellions is all but impossible.
Wow.
That's something.
Man,
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to protect the leaders, what better way than to prevent you know.
yeah, I can definitely see how the decay of society is happening. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
would
guess
say,
we're just gonna have a whole bunch of corrupt higher ups
yeah,
because I
mean,
was kind of
that's
going
how-
down a same route.
Hell yeah, yeah. So your character is one that wants to protect the citizens, but I guess
But the citizens don't know there is a world below.
yeah. So maybe your character is involved with the cover up, and maybe has a reason for the cover up.
I was thinking maybe okay, so my initial thought is something's going on downstairs. And something's going on below the city
Yeah.
that we don't want any part of.
Right, that makes sense.
The question is, was it like a well, okay, but that's also where we're getting the water to
Yeah.
keep the city floating. We're draining the oceans. This is
Yeah, I definitely think the answer lies in somewhere why the world like why we don't know what's going on below.
yeah. I think the water is definitely an important part of it. So I'm wondering if by draining the water from the oceans, I wonder if we're upsetting something by doing that.
Oh.
And this thing, well, except if we're gonna wake up Cthulhu,
Yeah.
I feel like Cthulhu would just know that, hey, the water's going up there. Why would it be ravaging the rest of the planet?
Unless if like, there are still populations below us that we're taking the water from.
Oh, kind of like a big ladder?
Well, I imagine if like we're able to have this city floating on steam, I imagine that we have vehicles that can float from steam as well.
Right, that makes sense.
Except then we'd have to account for the water needed to transport them, as well as the weight of the water. Water is fucking heavy. Because we're now literally dealing with rocket science.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm not smart enough for this world building. There's no turning back now.
I mean, unless if the technology has allowed it Like
I
part of
was
the reason,
I
like
was thinking
like
maybe we had kind of like a suction tubes that we run down into the oceans that we just kind of
oh
slurp up.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So
This,
giant
my
suction
friend,
tubes.
is called an Icarus Schlurper. And this is how our people survive.
I mean, if we have giant suction tubes, like theoretically, we're also accidentally sucking up other things in water, which can include animals and other people.
That's how we get food to the people.
Yeah,
Okay,
We
yeah, no, but
consist
right.
we subsist on a lot of seafood.
Yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is like what if like theoretically, like what if we are sucking um things up that the people wouldn't want to know that's being sucked up.
Such as?
Cool fish.
For example, what if we like suck up other people as well?
Oh,
Like
oh, that's good.
Damn. We find the
I like
small
that.
settlements and we're like, fuck them. We're taking them too.
well, it's like people swim, people go, like people are in boats or whatever.
Okay, so my dude is probably running one of the tubes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, an Icarus Schlurper.
Yeah. Okay, so Schlurper, who has to? Let's see. So Schlurper, who? So okay, I'm trying to figure out how I want to word this. He knows. He knows what else we're slurping to the top floor to for resources and whatnot. So okay, so he knows this. Um, so what does he do with this knowledge? He wants
Maybe
to
if you want to
protect
go
the
down,
citizens. So
Well, I guess it depends on your
maybe,
definition of protect the citizens.
yeah.
like
Um,
yeah,
well,
theoretically,
okay.
like
So we want. So my thing is based in education. So I'm assuming we want to kind of preserve their innocence.
yeah, I feel like if people knew that like to be able to survive, they're killing probably like tons of people. I don't think that would be necessarily good for the mental health of the people in the city.
Okay. And what is he trying to do with that? Is he also kind of like a part-time propagandist? I feel like being a schlurper would be pretty time consuming,
Yeah.
considering that we have to have some big ass pipes in order
Well,
to
actually, you know what? Actually, you know what the interesting thing is? Like maybe the people in the city don't even know that this lurper role even exists. They just think you're some government official,
I feel like it
like
would
you're
be
just some politician.
pretty hard to hide the Schlurpers.
Well, I mean, I assume that the lower levels of the city are like restricted access because that's where all of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
engine work has to be.
And
True.
also, I mean, we have a lot because we have like all of these different clocks and whatnot. We can have a bunch of sound from like bells and clock ticking and whatnot that can cover up like the mechanical sounds of
Of the schlurper,
the slurpers.
of the
Yeah,
schlurping.
yeah.
uh, so
So
sucking up.
maybe you're seen as like some sort of like government official slash engineer who helps operate the city, but you're really a slurper.
Nobody knows I'm a Schlurper.
I guess to some degree, it's also you could like be some like level of like like government agent to the extent of like if you saw people trying to break in and like to the lower levels, you'd be like involved with like taking care of them.
Okay, okay.
Perhaps.
But I don't necessarily if your character's thought like cares about protecting the citizens, I don't necessarily know if they what they do. But now we're gonna move over to Lunch, who he has to preserve the city.
Sorry about that.
But I have
I'm not
I find this is the hardest part of the game is
Yeah.
coming up with the characters.
Yeah, I'm not good at character building, especially on the fly.
Yeah,
All right, all right, all right, all right. So my thought is that my character is concerned that the fanaticism over how the city runs and functions is bad long term, because it means that there's not going to be enough new blood learning how to run the city, and eventually it will fall from the sky. And so he wants to try and cut away at the adoration of the engineers, and try and make it something that more people can just get into, because there's not enough people already to properly run everything, and something's always breaking, and they're always on the edge of despair. So this guy is an illegal engineer, and
An illegal engineer. That
That's
is
right.
that is something you can
non-government
only
sanctioned.
hear in Steampunk Icarus.
Yeah.
Icarus.
Nice.
And so he's learning shit on his own. He's stealing documents. He's pickpocketing, non-illegal engineers, and he's trying to spread the knowledge. So he's a thorn in the side of those.
Oh, so this
who
guy's a
keep the
part
world
of this
secret.
guy's kind of like a resistance leader.
But
Essentially,
he's a resistance leader trying to protect Icarus. Like that's the interesting. Like in a way, he's a traitor, but he's a traitor in the sense of trying to keep Icarus floating.
Yeah,
as opposed to like a traitor who's trying to bring it down.
yeah, he's not tearing down Icarus. He's just like wants it to keep working.
And we don't have to worry about names right now, since we want to move along. I just want to take a moment to say I'm quite proud of the name I came up with my last game. Algae Gore.
Gosh.
My guy's gonna be called Frank Ticker. a common surname in this world. They're not a very creative people.
I quite like that name.
And Everyman.
My character's name is Luigi Talker.
Frank Ticker, Luigi Talker.
That's amazing.
Luigi
Talkler?
Talkler. There we go. Okay.
His English.
Okay, so we have Frank Ticker, Luigi Talker, and I am going to be Ronald Dinger.
Already off to a great
Ronald Dinger, professional schlurper.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
We put
Okay,
effort
okay,
into our
okay,
world
so-
building in Bros in a Landfill.
Yes, exactly. So now we get to actually properly start the game. Before we have our
Excellent.
first turns, I have a deck of these event cards that well, they're more like prompt cards where it'll ask us questions and whatnot. The first two that I draw
So-
we work on together.
Okay, so just to be clear, failure is the only option here, right?
Yes, fail.
It's the entire point.
So
Excellent.
so the game. So like every time, like every turn and every time we fail a die roll, we add a die to the tower, and when the tower collapses, the game's over. Now we can end earlier or later if however we feel, but that's how it's supposed to happen.
Okay.
So, the first card. So we are currently in the first 5 cards on the deck, which are all called the cracks in our facade. This is when the cracks in our facade start to crackle. You know,
Got it.
Okay.
like,
So
problems-
this is when the
problems start
people
to-
are starting to figure out, hey, what if there's something below us?
exactly. So the first 2 we figure out together, and then we'll get our own prompts as the game goes on.
Okay.
So the first card is that we got to figure out is there are talks of a terrible storm headed towards the city from the north. What kind of storm is it, and how do people know it's coming?
Well, we're high up in the clouds.
Yeah, we see all the
Oh,
storms coming.
But this is a terrible
Wait,
storm.
wait, are we above the clouds? Or are we in them?
What if this is like a solar storm?
Depends.
A solar
Like, if we're
storm?
above-
Do we even know those exist?
Well, we do
I mean,
now. It's
theoretically,
there.
I mean, like, if we're above the clouds, perhaps we've been much more affected by like solar activity and whatnot, I imagine.
Solar activity. Okay, so how would we know about it?
I feel it on the wind.
Actually, well, you have to remember that because because we're at a distance from the sun, we'd be seeing things happen before they reached us. So we see the sun is acting funny, and I don't know how solar storms are supposed to work. I apologize.
I mean,
I know I know it interferes with electromagnetic stuff, but we're not electromagnetic.
It's true. On the other hand, if it is a storm below us, maybe that could affect the slurpers.
Oh,
So maybe this isn't a storm that's coming directly towards the city, but it's a storm that's happening below us, affecting the slurpers.
Right. It's just to the north, right? So it could be
whatever north happens to be. I don't think north is a very important concept for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, north is a polar concept like on the earth below, but we're just kind of like up in the sky, doing fuck.
I mean, we don't actually call it north; we call it tick.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. But so let's see. So clearly, this isn't a storm that necessarily the people.
We're
will
saying
know, but,
it's
like,
coming from 3:00.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go.
There we go. But this is something like the slurpers and the government people would know because they're the ones who actually know about the world below.
Yes.
So perhaps it's like some sort of maybe it's some sort of like hurricane or something, and we're gonna have to like take a period of time where it's like we can't have the slurpers down there. So we like
Oh no!
because
So
we can't let
we're
them
gonna
go.
have
okay.
no new resources for a minute.
Yeah, so that means we're gonna. So that means there's gonna be a period of time where we're not getting water to fuel the city.
Or
Yes.
fish to fill the bellies.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Now,
so there's a lot of fish in the ocean. I don't imagine that. How big is our fucking clockwork gear city?
Oh geez, that's logistics.
I imagine it's pretty big, but I was thinking maybe on the alternative, maybe instead of like we know it's coming, it's not here yet. Maybe what's going on is they're putting the slurpers into overdrive to suck up as much water and resources as they can before the storm hits us.
Okay. Yeah, this is the preparation time.
So do we think that this affects? So do we think that this new influx of resources will affect kind of the outer workings of the city as well?
Yeah, so it's the outer workings of the city, and also it makes, if the slurpers aren't being hidden, like it's more likely that something's gonna.
Well, the slurpers should be hidden. We already discussed that the lower levels of the city are restricted access.
Yeah, it's just we're just in the state where we're overworking them. We're grabbing a lot of resources all at once.
Well,
so that means the clock might spin faster. The noises might be getting louder.
Yeah. Oh, noise around the city is like very as louder and more frequent because they have to keep the sound of the slurpers hidden.
And the state enforced curfews are happening there earlier because there's more work that has to be done that the public aren't supposed to see than usual.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, why are we going to bed early?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, all right.
Yes. So I'll write down that aspect card. So when you're playing the game physically, you'd write this down on a note card or like the pad of paper it gives you. But we're doing this.
We're just doing this
virtually
over the
online.
Computer.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the city's gearing up for hibernation almost.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like the infrastructure and.
Do we know how long this storm is supposed to last?
Probably like at least a day or so.
Okay. Yeah, that's
like
depending on size of the city. That's a lot of fish.
Yeah. Well, like they don't need the yeah exactly because they're gonna have to do the slurping outside
Yeah.
of their normal schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. This has typos and stuff. I don't particularly care.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep this brisk so
Right.
lunch doesn't miss too much E3.
That's okay.
Hurricane from the north coming. Schlurpers in overdrive to stock resources so they aren't damaged. Extra noise and curfew and forced to cover up Schlurpers. Excellent.
Let me just. I need to.
There's like an amazing mix of like genuine dystopia and genuine shit post. And it's creating something
That's my
beautiful.
favorite. That's my favorite thing to do with this game. You know. So then the next question is
Schlurper is an
Uh,
official term in Icarus, by the way.
Yeah, for
yes,
sure. That's canon.
it is. But only from the people in the know. The people who don't know don't even like Schlurper isn't even part of their clockwork lexicon.
Oh yeah, you can get thrown off the city just for saying the word schlurper.
Into the hurricane.
So the next aspect is next card is what controversial part of Icarus culture do other surrounding nations not agree with or share?
There is no surrounding nations.
Well, there are clearly some level of like civilization and nations like on the ground
Yeah.
below.
They don't agree that
And-
their people are being sucked up for no reason.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Yeah.
They send like strongly worded letters through the suction tubes.
It's like, bro,
That
we're
we
stop
ignore.
putting our cities on wheels so we're not completely sitting ducks for the schlurpers, and you still get us somehow. You're stealing all of the water. You're stealing all the water from the planet. You're pissing off Cthulhu. Like, almost everything about your existence we hate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Controversial
So
is not even the half of it.
So there we go with that.
My brother got schlurped
We have a
yesterday.
city on wheels. We have a city underneath the water that's being drained.
Yeah.
We're pissing off the merfolk.
You guys are ruining
Yep.
Atlantis.
So
We're ruining the
so
Mer
what I-
Kingdom. Now Princess Miranda's upset.
Yeah. So what I wrote is ground nations fucking hate Icarus and their slurpers sucking up resources and people.
Yeah, no, they're awful.
Yeah. God, Icarus really.
We
is
don't
the
do
scum of
anything
the
about
earth.
this, of course.
What can they
Well,
do?
but like, what I mean, it's the only way up to Icarus is being slurped, and you know what happens to people who are slurped.
They're dissected and fed to our citizens.
Exactly. Okay, so now here's where the real fun. Like this is like where the real fun starts.
Okay.
So we need to determine a turn order.
Where's this other box?
It's below
Oh, it's below. Okay.
hurricane. Yeah. So now we need to determine a turn order. I usually like doing things like just I don't know. My brain wants to go Tar lunch Tar lunch me because Tar is the weak like Tar has the weakness and I usually do weakness first and that's
Okay.
So first thing you do on your turn, you have to choose an aspect you wish to change. You don't need to give much more detail right now, but just put your die, which in this case just slide your name onto an aspect that you wish to change.
Okay, so all right, and this is in character.
And this is in character.
Okay, so falling apart here. All right, so let's see here. So I want to preserve the citizens' innocence. So maybe. So there's a storm coming. Everyone on the planet hates us.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's.
We're like Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
Just those crazy assholes.
Well, but there isn't really anything that the people on the ground can do to us
Well,
Yeah.
that we know of.
that we
Maybe
know
that
of.
changes.
They might be working on something.
I mean,
They might be
I mean,
working
our
on
They
something.
might be working on
Our
counter
slurpers could-
slurpers.
the slurpers could be pretty vulnerable. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it's just they just suck things up, like without any regard.
So, language has been simplified to revolve around time. I hope that my Audacity isn't picking up the Amber Alert I'm getting right now. So maybe
I don't know. Someone was slurped.
someone was slurped. I can't.
Slurp
sign.
alert!
Absolutely awful. I'm so...
Slurp alert!
So I'm thinking maybe we can change social structure.
Well, no, it's the aspects down below, not the
aspects down below.
not. Yes, yeah. So everything like you can't change the pillar, but the actual aspects
Oh.
are like the cards down below.
I can't change the pillar, so
Right.
it would be right here.
Yeah, what is an aspect exactly?
So an aspect is it's like a story thing that like so. An aspect is so it's things separated from the set the setting that like is a current happening in the story at this moment.
Okay, so that's the stuff down below.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so hurricane from the north. What can I change here?
Well,
Well,
you
you've
get,
got
like-
to somehow
okay, so
cover for the
so it's-
extra noise and curfew stuff
Well,
that's making people suspicious.
the word change like is kind of so you can it's kind of like bloated. Like you can try to like I mean yes you can try to like flip the situation change or like you can add to something or whatnot. Like you're trying to enact some level of change like and that would create a new aspect card of the situation. So you're trying to create some level of change, whether it's a big change or a small change, based off of an aspect card.
Right. Like
So,
what would you
I-
as a Schlorpeneer do about this situation?
So I guess like one example would be like if maybe you want to develop some sort of filter to keep the humans from being sucked up. That would be one example.
Okay. Oh, so like kind of something that we can kind of stick to the end of our pipes that will
Yeah.
only allow smaller things to make it through.
Like fishies.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, so just drag your name down onto that one, and then we'll come back to
Drag.
that later.
Drag name down. So here, I think because that would,
That might honestly affect both situations.
yeah, that would. I feel like if we put a filter on that, that would affect our efficiency.
Yeah, that would definitely affect our efficiency, like as much but at the same time, it's like if you care about protecting the citizens, you probably don't want them eating humans regardless, because things like mad cow disease and
It's
whatnot.
funny though,
Oh,
because
true.
like, are the humans even going to survive hitting the filter?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, it's not about protecting the people below.
Right,
It's so that
protecting
the
us.
people up top aren't
Right.
eating
So the
humans.
ground
Alright.
the
Protecting
ground
us from
nations
eating
will
humans.
probably still hate us because it's like, well, they're not stealing us anymore. They're just dropping our battered corpses back to the ground.
Well, and we're still
okay,
stealing
so
resources
if we
from them.
affix the filters to the entrance point of the pipe, that would mean that that the humans won't even enter the tube.
Yes.
Sure.
So we're not stealing their people anymore. We're just still stealing their resources.
Got it.
Well, except that would also affect what resources we can slurp up. Because if we
But-
ended up slurping up cows, we're not going to get any more beef.
Yeah, but I think we've established that like because we're slurping up in like water heavy areas, we're mainly just slurping a fish for food.
Yeah.
Like I think
makes-
beef is something that's very rare and like probably
Beef is
government
a
officials keep it to
delicacy.
themselves. Yeah, beef is a delicacy. And I imagine like really like the times that we actually do get beef more often is when like government officials do their steam hovercrafts down to the earth to steal cows, over than wasting a slurper over dry land.
UFOs exist, and they are
Yes.
Icarus.
Okay.
All
So
right.
now the next thing is
I
a
gotta,
concept like
just so you know, I gotta jump out real quick. I will be right back.
okay.
So
Well,
you
Tar,
go
before
ahead
you
and
go,
do your
request.
turn.
Okay. No, Tar, I need Tar before you go.
Oh,
Ah,
okay. I'm
just
here. I'm here.
here's your question. Think about this while you go do your thing.
Okay.
A valuable resource from outside the city has suddenly become much more expensive because of the limited quantity now available. What is it and why is it now in scarcity? Think about that and tell us when you come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Try and Lunch Show, where we narrate over things that are happening in Icarus today. The shop front at 345 is currently running out of a resource. They haven't told us yet. But people aren't happy and it's getting expensive. And any commentary?
That's right,
Lunch?
Try. The people of Icarus are getting really ticked off about the whole situation. The fact that they don't have access to their favorite commodity that they use every single day. There's already enough tension in the air as the clock ticks down to the upcoming storm, which is sure to cause a bit of a kerfuffle. We'll have more news at 3 p.m. Not at 3 p.m. in a couple hours.
3 hours from now at 7 p.m.
Right. We're here live at 3 p.m. from 7 p.m.
Okay, I'm back, and so our slurpers, in order to get all of the water and all of the fish, we need to slurp up a lot of fish. We're slurping up more fish faster than they can reproduce.
Overfishing it. You would expect this would happen much
Yeah,
earlier.
we're overfishing.
Yeah, okay.
And then this is how each turn plays out until each person takes their turn. So then, Lunch, you need to figure out which one your character is going to want to try to adjust.
Okay. Okay. Well, Frank Ticker is gonna notice all the extra noise and all the extra goings on lately around Icarus because he is an amateur, kind of knows what's going on a little bit with the systems and how all this runs, and he's like, something's wrong. So, and he might not know exactly why it's happening, but he's aware there's something. So he is going to start secretly spreading pamphlets and information under people's doors and in their letterboxes under an alias known only as T, that something is going wrong at Icarus and that normal people are going to have to start walking the holy path if the whole thing is going to work.
Okay, so you're gonna want to drag your name over to the aspect that it applies to.
Yep.
So the hurricane one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then your question is: a peaceful protest flares
Oh,
up
wait
in
a
a
minute.
public area.
Except hang on. I'm gonna need to change this card because
Yeah,
we
that's fine.
said that there was gonna be filters. Well,
No, we update aspects at the end of
right.
the turn. So at the very end of the turn, we update and remove aspects.
All right.
Okay.
So a peaceful protest flares up in a public area of Icarus. What are they angry about?
Well, they're angry because they read their pamphlets. They that the information.
Well, we don't know if the pamphlets thing is like those resolve at the end of the turn.
Okay. They're angry about curfew. They're just for normal, anxiety reasons that things that normally operate like clockwork every day are acting a bit different. They're like, how come we have to go to bed so early? What's going on? Why won't our leaders talk to us? So yeah, just unrest from this entire situation.
So that's interesting because my character being like this language who loves language, he's also trying to keep he's trying to keep these revolts sort of like at a minimum. He's definitely going to worry about this protest.
This is a problem for Luigi.
Yeah, it's probably so. I think Luigi is definitely going to do what he can to quell this protest.
Okay.
And then let me grab a card to answer myself. An outside force has come to the city to negotiate a deal. Who are they and what do they want?
Ooh.
Well,
Oh. So here's a ground nation
shit.
that fucking hates us.
That's a
yeah.
That's a big
Wait,
deal.
so how do they reach us?
They've probably stolen some of our Steam technology. Actually, maybe that's
He infiltrated the Schlurper.
You could just get sent up through the Schlurper?
Yeah.
No, how would he survive? Nobody could survive the Schlurper.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's too much suction there. Like you just be like crushed.
No one can take that much suck.
No, I'm thinking that this deal is a lot closer to blackmail. I think a ground nation has reverse has either from stealing a one of the things that have landed and whatnot, one of the the Steam vehicles that landed for beef related reasons. They got their hands on that, and they had they had some negotiators travel up, and they're like, if you don't stop using your slurpers around human populations, we'll around our cities, because it's not just so bad that that water in the ocean, theoretically Icarus could just be oh, we're just going to the far reaches of the ocean where we're not bothering anybody, but no, Icarus doesn't care. They're sucking up resources around.
They choose to be Vikings.
Nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they choose. So this ground civilization with some modicum technology figures out how the Steam works, and they come up being like, yo, we're gonna fuck with your slurpers if you don't stop fucking with us.
Yo, we're gonna fuck with your slurpers. Yeah, well, I'm sure they've got to be developing technology, man. Or they can just start chucking bombs where they know they're gonna get slurped.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. That's basically a threat of war.
Yeah, threatens.
Also, even just their existence becoming known is a threat to the whole Icarus society.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that's going to be a problem for Ronald Dinger.
Yeah.
Because we want to keep the whole thing under wraps.
This would be a problem for Ronald Dinger.
If they keep slurping around human populations.
Exactly. So now here comes the fun part. So now we go. Actually, before the fun part, that's fine. We can read that. So the first thing that happens at the end of the turn is we start the monument with a die. So we have the first die placed down. This is the base of the monument.
Okay.
Then we go through each of the players in turn order, and they describe what success looks like for their change. So Tar, what does success look like for your aspect change?
What does success look like for my aspect change? Okay. So my aspect change was the filters. Was the filters at the bottom of the slurpers. So success looks like, so everybody that is processing the all of the processors that process the process
Processes.
everything that the slurpers are slurping up. Notice that there's the water percentage is much higher, but also that there is the percentage of fish that is necessary for the population to eat. So basically, all the processors notice that the extraneous product that we are harvesting from the great below is lessened.
Okay. More efficient.
Yes,
yes. More water, more fish, less garbage.
More
that they
water,
have to
more
deal with.
fish. They say that all the time.
So now I roll a die. There are 2 marks on this die. It's a 6-sided die. If it lands on one of those marks, your chain succeeds. If not, it goes horribly wrong.
Okay.
And it went horribly wrong.
Oh no!
Fuck!
So the die gets added to the tower, and now we're going to describe what happened and why it went horribly wrong.
What happened?
Oh, what happened, and we create an aspect based off of that.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe they worked at first. However, since the slurpers are running since we are running our slurpers so hard, eventually the filters clogged. Well, not the filters clogged. Something too big got slurped up and the filter broke, leading to a sudden influx of like garbage and shit.
Oh no! This is terrible.
Undesirable product.
Yeah.
That's a
So
nice
you can
dystopian
you can have
way to
that
take
branch
that in.
off of the overfishing one, probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So
Our
you can create
slurpers
that
are too powerful. The filter's broke.
Yep. So you can type that up while I go over lunch's change.
Okay, so
So,
my change was
Lunch,
to
I know
get
you- I know you
the word out that people need to step up and push for civilians learning how to engineer.
Okay, let's see how that goes. And that was a horrible failure.
Oh my god.
What if they suspect it's a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, well,
Like it's just a conspiracy. Like they think that Frank Ticker is just some lunatic. That's my first thought, but it's Lunch's thing. So
I think if it fails in that way, then it'll be less interesting for you guys, I think. Because your guy's goal is to... I mean, maybe that's a lame way of looking at it, but I'm thinking maybe he gets caught handing out these letters and is basically taken into Icarus custody. I mean, he's got shit tons of secrets that they don't want anyone knowing about. So, yeah, I'd say Frank Ticker ends up in a cell somewhere.
It could be like a combination. So like if we're thinking about like things going horribly wrong, like Frank Ticker gets caught. Like the government says that he's like this loony spreading conspiracy ideas, and then maybe that
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a yes and.
Yeah.
I should know better.
Yeah. And I think in that way it makes people it both serves as like it kind of serves as an example of don't like say anything against the government, and the population like can take that in whatever way they want.
Okay, I'll throw in a container then.
Yeah. And then mine was, let's see. Yes, which one was I? I never tracked that down. But yes, I was like, this was for like the protesting peeps. Yeah, my character, I was thinking specifically, since my character's a linguist, he's gonna try to weave words, but like in a most very intellectual, like he's gonna give this like very like intellectual speech using both like smart words, but also being able to speak directly to the people with this language he's helped developed to try to convince them that curfews are actually good, especially because curfews are time related after all.
And we
It is
love
just
time here in Icarus.
Yeah.
We need to have the greater curfews to we need to have the earlier curfews to increase time resting so that your time working can be more efficient.
Yes, exactly. And that failed horribly. I guess people absolutely hate curfews now. Like I would say the situation gets worse and people start ignoring curfews.
Shit.
And then at the end of the turn we have 4 die stacked. I should note that I have never stacked more than 12 die, but like within a game I've never stacked more than 10. So we are I'd say we're probably just about at halfway point. Wouldn't last more than 2 more turns.
Okay.
Well, shit.
Most of the game really is just setup. Like I feel like the longest part is the setup.
And now it's just watching the dominoes fall.
Yeah. Turns out now, is there any aspects that we need to update or delete? So Ground Nation still fucking hate us. We're still making extra noise.
Yeah, we're still making extra noise. Our filters are fucking broken. Our new filters that we just invested so much money in.
Yep. So it seems like the protests are still happening. Yeah, I don't see anything that really needs to. So interestingly, like we have this both people refuse to take part of the curfews, but people are afraid to ask questions at the same time because of Frank. You know?
Right. I guess we'll see in the next turn.
Yeah, how this develops.
That's resolving itself very weirdly.
Yeah, I mean we're in the state where people are afraid to ask questions, but they don't trust the government at the same time.
Yeah, okay. That seems like a powder keg about to explode.
Yeah. So now we go through it all again, but this time we rotate. So now it's Lunch's turn to start first. So you get to choose which one you want to try to change.
Okay. So what? I can just try and affect any of these squares?
Like any of them. Yeah, you can put your name on any of those squares.
Okay. Well, I'm currently in jail, so I don't know if there's anything else I can affect other than try and get out of jail.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Is there? I mean, if you're let's see. You are. I mean, you're this engineer person.
Yes.
You're a madman.
So maybe you have ways. Maybe you have ways of reaching people and stuff from inside your cell.
Okay.
I mean, we have the simplified clock language. Maybe like you have other people like other people part of like your little resistance that you can contact.
And then yeah, maybe you meet other madmen.
Right. Okay.
Wait, well, except this probably hasn't really happened before because, well, unless it has, and this is just a big conspiracy.
You are not the first anti-ticker.
Actually, whoa. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I think what's gonna happen is, no, that doesn't make any sense. How would that be possible?
I mean, maybe you could have done it this way. Like maybe instead of like him necessarily going to jail, like Buffy, this was like he got a little bit of torture as a warning and he was sent back out. Like he's treated as a madman. People don't take him seriously. The government don't see him as a threat.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. So, obvious the thing is, Frank Ticker is correct, and that more people they're understaffed, right? So the government is like, well, we could throw this guy off of the whole city, but we kind of need the help of someone useful. So they say, you know what? We're going to have you on to work for us because you have skills. But if you step out of line, bad shit's
You're
gonna
fucking
happen.
done.
You're done. So Frank Ticker's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I don't want to die, so I accept this new job. But but in exchange for allowing him to live, the government says you have to go out and you have to appear publicly and denounce everything you said. And say that, I don't know, you were having a manic episode or something. So he goes out, he meets the public, and he's like, yeah, that was all bullshit, sorry. But he got across a coded message through his wristwatch.
Ooh.
By changing the time on it a couple of times in a Morse code-esque kind of way. That means... help me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm guessing you want to put that your name on the Frank Ticker aspect.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay.
So yeah, so to recap, they allow him to join the government because they need his help, but in exchange for his life, they get him to denounce his ideas publicly, which he does, but he includes a coded message so that people realize what's actually going on.
Okay. So, now we're in the second phase of the deck, called The Rifts Between Us.
Okay.
Oh.
The expansion of the city has started to encroach upon another nation's land, sparking a battle over territory. Who is the other party in this war, and what are they doing to keep our forces from moving in further? And this is for lunch.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to play with that prompt a little bit because I don't think there are any others.
Yeah.
It sort of doesn't apply, but I think we can translate to generally like we're encroaching too much on the surface all the time.
Well, you have one down here that says the ground nations are figuring out our steam vehicle technology.
Yeah, true. So
Yeah.
Expose them and damage slurpers if they keep slurping around human populations is what we have here.
Right, so that's kind of already happening. So what's the question again?
Yeah.
Well, the question is, who is this other party in the war, and what are they doing to keep our forces from moving in further? So I think we have to remember they're at a point where they're just threatening right now. I'm guessing maybe we ignored those threats, and then they're starting to take action.
Yeah. They are starting to build... Okay, first of all, who they are, I mean, I guess they're just a ground nation. But let's call them the city of Apollo. So Apollo they're starting to build bombs and stuff. They're trying to... They are basically trying to set bait, like slurp bait, by creating areas or making it look like certain areas are going to be very bountiful. Yeah.
So they're developing sea mines, is what they're doing.
Right, they're developing sea mines, but they're not really. It's just a trap.
Like knowing that we are trying to serve up as much water as we can for the incoming hurricane.
Yes. Because they have intel on us. So yeah, that's what they're doing. They're setting up slurp decoys and putting bombs in them, and then they're gonna get sucked up. And especially since the filters are broken, it's gonna be even worse.
Oh geez. I mean, if we really wanted to go full yes and, maybe they're the reason why the filter ended up breaking as well.
Oh, I like that. Sea mine blew up a filter.
Damn, dude. Ronald Dinger is not a bad engineer, okay? He knows what he's doing. He couldn't.
But wait a minute. We've set up the filters to prevent unsavory things from being slurped. Why would they want to blow up our filters?
Well, they didn't. Or is
this something like a miscommunication? They didn't know we were developing the filters, So they
Yeah.
blow up the filter by
Yeah,
accident.
they already put the landmines down.
They already put the landmines down. We come down here with our new filters, and everything just fucks up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and make that aspect. I think so. Another interesting thing about this game, like choice you can do. So, other than just trying to change an aspect, you can also support a cause or like do like support. So I can take this a bit loose, and I'm gonna say I am going to put my name on the same aspect as lunch.
Okay.
But from the perspective of I want to try and make the like I want to assist in his speech to be able to quell the people and quell like the protests and stuff, you know? Like
So
I want to
so
try
we
to
don't make the new aspect yet.
Yeah, we don't make the new we make the new aspects from those.
Okay.
My bad.
After the end. Like the aspect for lunch's question still needs to be put down.
Okay.
But the aspects for our changes are applied.
Oh,
after the die
right. Got
rolls,
it, got
'cause
it. We don't know how it turns out yet.
Okay.
So, well, lunch. I'll let lunch type that as I'm finishing. Well, as I do my question.
Wait, so what am I
Ooh.
typing? Sorry.
Oh no! So you're typing the aspect for the war, like the nation for the landmines, well, the water mines.
Okay.
Like the city of Apollo, like on a coastal
Move this
city
down.
that's being fucked by us.
Oh, okay.
You know, like they're bombing our slurpers.
There we go.
Oh, where'd my box go?
I moved it up a
Tar
little
moved
bit.
it.
I moved it down. It's like right next to the Ground Nation one.
Sure, okay.
So my card is a disease has been spreading rapidly through the city. What are the symptoms and how is it spread? What measures are citizens taking to prevent it?
What garbage have they been
Now-
eating?
Exactly my point. I already think that some level of mad cow disease was already starting to spread because of the humans being sucked up and eaten. But I think I think that sort of thing has always been sort of prevalent.
I
and
feel
people
like
don't question it. They
yeah,
just-
if it's always been prevalent, they probably have some form of immunity to it.
Yeah. So I feel like this needs to be something that's like particularly awful. So like we know that things are in overdrive. We know that there's no filter. We know a bunch of like junk and bombs and stuff has been
Okay,
slurped up.
hear me out. We suck up a pufferfish.
Ooh, I know. I imagine that like we've sucked up pufferfish before.
We have sucked up pufferfish before, but one of them made it past the processors.
Damn.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, but this needs to be more of like a widespread sort of disease. Pufferfish is just kind of poison. Like a few people are gonna get sick.
Okay,
in,
all right, fair enough.
potentially. But I'm thinking like if now if we're starting to like to suck up a bunch of garbage, but as well as
Garbage
like,
and
maybe like other
explosives.
explosives and like other animals and stuff. Like what if like some like human like some like animal born disease, like it's because of like animal to human transfer. Because I think actually here's another thing to consider. Between the bombs, between like even actually, what if it is something like mad cow disease? What if historically we actually filtered out like the humans or like other stuff, but the bomb has destroyed the filter, like the internal filters.
Oh, so these bombs really fucked up everything.
Yeah, like maybe less filters, but more like the sanitation sort of thing. So like, I think we just like slurped everything up, sanitized it, and we made it into food. But the bombs damaged the sanitizers.
Right, and the people of Icarus have weak immune systems because they never leave this one spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Because I imagine the slurpers themselves are quite durable. It's going to take more than just a few bombs to destroy them.
Yeah.
I think it's really causing more damage up in like internally.
Yeah.
The guts of the Schlurpers are getting fucked. I've never said Schlurper in my life until now, and now I've said it hundreds of times. Now it's one of the most common
And to
words
avoid
in
this,
my, vocab.
And to avoid this, I feel like people might be doing something with their food, but like, maybe people stop trusting government sources of food. Maybe people are turning to like the black market and stuff of like people going down to the
Down to the engine rooms.
People I think
They're
'cause,
stealing
there's
the beef.
yeah, because people know about the beef and how it's like how this high quality thing that like government officials and stuff get to have. Like it's like this mythical sort of food, like
it's
this like
the
the
food of the
mythical delicious
gods.
food. Yeah,
I like how Schlurper went from the profession to the actual name of the suction tube.
Yeah, it's kind of I guess it's both. Well,
it's
yeah.
It's contextual.
Yeah.
Our language is simple.
There's so
Yeah.
much contextual
Yeah,
shit in this language. It makes sense.
I mean, I'm really like saying Schlurper is more of like a translation of whatever like clock based language they have. It's like it's just the important thing is they use the same word, and that word means Schlurper to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the most accurate translation available to us.
So now Tar gets to choose which one he wants to adjust.
Okay, so
You say tick with the wrong inflection, it means I'll fucking kill your whole family.
okay, so I get to change something. People refuse. So what's going on now? So we have explosives causing our filters to break, leading to a massive influx of unfavorable product, botched speech from Luigi, people refusing to take part of curfews. Frank Ticker is doing his own thing.
I mean, there's still a hurricane
my-
to deal with that will eventually hit.
Oh, we do still have that hurricane to deal with. That hasn't come in yet, has it?
And our sanitizers are fucked while we're still going in overdrive.
And our sanitizers are fucked. Well, I'm a Schlurper, so I need to take care of that sanitizer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That shit's my responsibility.
Yeah.
Fuck, said Ronald.
Fuck, said Ronald Dinger.
In clock language.
Talk!
Talk!
There you go.
There we go. Luigi's last name translates to fucker. So,
It's a different culture.
I hate
okay?
that you're
Steam
right.
whistle. Okay, so people start demanding beef food of the gods, which is said to be pure.
The guy who wants to simplify
dumb.
language has the surname fucker. It just seems to work.
No, but don't you see like that is exactly like what inspired he was stuck with this name fucker. That's like he's got a pretty like he has every reason to try to change and update the language.
Fair enough. Okay, so I need to do something about this sanitizer.
Okay.
The thing is,
So
what?
yeah, so now that the turn's over, I added die to the tower. We are now 5 die up. I gotta mention that these die are curved, like have like rounded edges, which makes it a lot harder for it to stay
Right.
stable.
I see. So sea mines destroy the sanitizers, breed foodborne illnesses. People start demanding beef food of the gods, which is said to be pure. So I need to maintain innocence. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can come to you because we do some turners. So now it's Lunch's role right now.
wait,
Is it?
no,
Yeah,
because I'm
because
still
once
trying to
started-
figure out my action.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't flip I need to flip over your card. That's what I need to do.
Oh,
You don't need to come up. You don't need to know your action until your actual die roll.
oh, okay,
But I need to I need to flip over cards. So
okay.
so Tar, the environment surrounding Icarus has become damaged or sick in some way. What has caused this environmental degradation, and how is a specific part of society has been adversely affected by it?
Well, people are getting sick from the explosives and the animal crap that's getting through the filters.
Yeah.
So
Well, we know that Well, I imagine like maybe like environment maybe specifically has to do with
Wait,
our water sources too. Like what if something's happened to the water sources?
Something's happened to the water sources.
Pufferfish.
Like
Wait.
like well we know like there's already landmines going off. Maybe that's causing some level of like
Oh yeah, so like explosive byproducts.
yeah.
The explosive byproducts are entering our water supply.
Damn.
Wait, hang on. So now our water's polluted because of the sea mines.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You'd think it would dilute a little bit.
Well,
Hey,
I'm
well,
thinking,
okay, yeah, a little bit.
Well, it's like well, I'm thinking like if we have like maybe if we have explosions going on under the sea, what if like an explosion triggers something like causes something to break or something to trick that like completely contaminates the water, like from below that we're sucking up.
Like a geothermal vent?
Yeah, like maybe like a geo like yeah, I mean like what if like or like geothermal or like some sort of like oil related
Oh
thing.
yeah, that sounds like a thing.
Like because
Oh.
it's like we have civilizations below that have some level of technology. Like, what if like or even like worse, what if like Apollo specifically like pollutes the water for us to suck up?
Damn, the Apollonians are real bastards.
yeah, they.
I mean, we've been sucking their people up for probably centuries at this point.
It's like the ocean's going anyway. Like fuck it. BP, where are you at?
Oh dear. So our water's fucky. What caused our water to be fucky? We could have the Apollonians spill again, like, or maybe like electrical byproduct. Well, no, they wouldn't be using electricity.
This is the story of how the Apollonians said, "You know what? Fuck you," and unschlurped our schlurp.
Yeah, I think the idea here is like they don't know how it works, but they see that the bombs aren't destroying the slurpers and the slurpers are still sucking. So I think their idea is we need to send something up to the slurpers that fucks with them, or it's like they haven't stopped slurping.
They haven't stopped slurping. Well, yeah, and they have no idea that our people are sick now.
Yeah. Like, I think the next mentality is like, oh, we want them to stop wanting to slurp.
Okay. They don't know that that's already happened though.
Yeah. Completely separate civilizations.
Yeah. So what are they sending up there that is causing us to want to not slurp?
But what about waste byproduct? Like
Yeah,
just
waste.
like
So
then that means Apollo doesn't have to be too advanced. It just gotta shit and piss in the rivers.
that's true.
So the Apollonians activate mission shit and piss.
Apollonians are sending waste products through.
Their
That's
entire
definitely making
culture mobilizes to shit in the rivers.
That's definitely going to make things a lot
for
worse.
their fellow men.
Mm-hmm.
Lines of people form across the nation in brotherhood.
Yes. There we go. And so
Nice.
I guess this one. What? Well, I guess that one.
I'd say that. Yeah, I'd say that one because it's separate from the landmines, but it's still the Apollonians. I think landmines are still there. They're still putting in landmines. It's not just they're shitting and pissing in the river as well.
If we if the storm hasn't hit yet, then this is a fucking brief and swift fucking act of retribution.
Well,
from above.
I mean, hurricanes can take a few days to reach a place,
Okay.
Yeah, and we've established that we've been doing this for a long ass time. It's only now that the Apollonians are saying, "Hey, cut that shit out."
They're standing up and
well,
squatting down.
I think it's more like because I think we're in motion as well. Like we're just like slowly in motion, but we can't. The hurricane's just moving fast in this, so it's not like we can move out of the way of the hurricane.
Okay.
So I think what's going on is like we've been sucking up water. We've been moving closer to the Apollonians, and the Apollonians are like, "Get the fuck away from us! Stay away from us!"
All right, what's the next thing?
Okay, so next thing is we get to so Lunch
now-
you gotta Lunch got to describe what success looks like for his role.
Okay, so for Frank
Like-
Tick here, success is that somebody notices his message, and the people rise up essentially. How exactly they rise up, I'm not entirely sure, because he mostly just wants to spread the knowledge that like he wants to make being an engineer not holy. But
Yeah.
I guess like success for him is people realize he
maybe
wasn't like a madman.
Maybe other than just like saying help me, maybe he's also like spreading like engineer state secrets as well,
Yeah,
so that people
he's
can.
trying to.
Except I feel like they'd be. I feel like that the government would catch on if he's using Morse code. Or
Well, it's not
our
Morse
It's
code,
equivalent.
tick code.
Yeah,
It's
tick
tick
code.
code.
I don't know. I
think
think
this
it's okay that he's just planting the seeds, because if everybody starts being curious,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just like a help me. They've already received the initial letters, so he just needs people to see
Yeah.
that and understand it and get curious.
Yep. Well, let's see that.
Oh,
even
and he
successes.
needs to not get caught.
And that was a failure.
Okay. So
Do you usually see at least one success?
I've seen. I think in the 2 games I've played, I think I've seen success roll twice.
Okay.
It is a 1/3 chance of success.
okay, so the people don't understand the message. They just think that he's stupid, or that he's a madman, and that he's like sincerely apologizing. So they go back to their lives, but they're in like still kind of panicked and in unrest that things are going wrong, but they don't know why, and so they can't really mobilize to do much about it. Meanwhile, Frank Ticker is the government notices what he's doing, and he is sentenced. He is put on death row essentially.
Oh, okay.
Make it so that he's not allowed to leave the bottom,
Okay.
the engine rooms.
Oh, he's never allowed to leave the lower levels again.
Actually, can I throw a curveball? What if he's tossed off, survives, and is currently in Apollo?
Give me a reason that he
How
could
does he
possibly
survive
and I would be.
What if he grabs onto a slurper?
Well, he could just yeah. I mean,
Just kind of hugs his way down like a big ass sliding pole. He has to see all the crap and explosives that are coming up.
I mean, the alternative is like maybe like instead of like actually just tossing people out, they the real punishment is more when they say toss, they don't actually like properly toss the people off. It's more like they bring them down to live on the ground level. It's like you're like abandoned, like banned from the society, sort of.
Well, okay, so the thing is like we've already established that since the government is shorthanded, we need Frank Ticker
Yeah, that's true.
to
That is
operate the
true.
machines. That's why I suggest he's not. That's why I suggested he's not allowed to leave the engine.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot
They
more
put
sense.
him to work attempting to fix all these issues with the Schlurpers now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
he's
basically make him
he's
a
trying to
slave.
fix. He's trying to fix the. He's trying to fix the sanitizers and the Schlurpers.
So Frank and Ronald,
but he's still a
converge.
novice.
Yeah, Frank and Ronald.
And he's on thin ice. If he does anything else, they are threatening to genuinely throw him off.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
So
Okay, that's cool beans.
do I write that down?
Sick.
So now, yep, you write that down. Meanwhile, I am on the same aspect. So, like, I definitely think Frank would be the one involved with, like, would definitely be able to make out the Actually, here's something. So I'm like the technical term is supporting the cause, which is kind of weird. Like, well, like,
It,
like
it might
like,
make it might make more sense in it might make more sense in games that aren't this fucky.
yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like so like yeah, I'm let me just because the goal like so lunch like Frank Ticker was trying to do like this Morse code sort of thing to tell people to help
Yeah.
him. Um Now I don't necessarily like I think maybe Luigi has a speech a speech following after his last grand speech, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought we weren't listening to Luigi anymore.
Yeah, we're not. Let me see. Yeah, we're not. Yeah. Well, yeah. People don't listen to Curious. They ignore it. Like they're not. People aren't listening to him. But if he's a linguist, maybe he's the one that wrote the. So I imagine the sort of apology that Lunch had to give, well, that Frank had to give, was written by a government
Yeah, that makes
agent.
sense. That makes perfect
Like
sense. He
like
still
they
has a job and everything.
So I think Luigi's the one that wrote the speech, and I think for him this is a matter of I want the people to be calm. It's effectively he's just trying to effectively like write a effective speech that is like that will help quell any sort of like misunderstanding. You know, it's his job to be like, yo, there is no conspiracy. You know,
Yes.
like
No, he's still
he's
doing
trying
his
to like
thing.
write a speech.
He had one bad speech. He's okay.
Yeah, he's trying to make the speech you're giving to say that like prove that there's a like to make people feel comfortable. Yeah, and that was a failure.
Shit.
Shit. Okay, so let me just do that. Luigi is not a very good linguist. Gotta say,
He's not a very good public speaker. He has
Yeah.
a stutter, which
Well, I think
in this simplified language sends very different messages.
Well, I think more so this because like he knows the language very well, but he's not good at consolidating ideas into paragraphs and stuff. You know.
I like the stutter idea better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but he's not speaking. Like this was the apology that was written for Frank to read out publicly. So like this is something that he doesn't have to deliver. So this was specifically words he wrote did not do their job.
Okay.
I think Frank is just like Luigi's just out of touch with the people, you know.
He spent too much time in his room developing language.
Eating his god steaks.
I just realized my dude wasn't actually doing anything this entire time.
What do you mean?
That's pretty nuts.
You mean he hasn't achieved anything?
No. I mean, for my entire turn, we were discussing the Apollonians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're asleep at the wheel, Ronald Dinger.
No, he's literally freaking out because the sanitizers are broken.
He's gonna be like, fuck,
I said
fuck.
he's been trying to fix the sanitizers.
We need more materials to fix the slurpers. Well, then slurp them up. We can't do that. What the fuck do we do? This is the thing that we do. We slurp. This is what Icarus does.
Yeah, I just love the idea of like me and Lunch like kind of like on the public relations side of things, like on like opposing
Meanwhile,
ends.
I'm in the belly of the beast here.
Yeah.
You're literally trying to keep things from fucking up, and it's not working. Like everybody, it's like everybody else is like, you are doing fine. The things you're doing are completely fine, but everybody else is just ruining your day.
Yeah, I'm just the guy who wants his coffee break
Yeah.
with the coffee beans we slurped up.
God, this really feels like just like a Tar character 101, and I love it. Like I just get very big like Edward and Tucker vibes coming off of this. People won't understand what that has anything to do with anything.
Watch the Danganronpa episode.
Yeah.
Oh, we're running out of space
Speaking of-
for our flowchart here.
No, it naturally it adds more room as we.
Okay, so my guy, success is the sanitizers are fixed. I think that's really my number one priority here is just fixing
Yeah.
the sanitizers.
And that was a failure.
Fuck!
I was tempted to be like, actually, it succeeded, but
Okay,
You know.
so now we need to delve into the nature of our sanitation system. Because
Okay.
so I don't think that we can use like the kind of sanitizing gel that we all know and love.
Mhm.
Um
I mean, theoretically already, if we're doing steam, we're already dealing with incredibly high temperature coming from a source.
that's true.
So maybe this is like sanitization from incredibly high heat.
Sanit You sanitize using high heat. So our fish is just pre-cooked.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
really streamlines things.
Yeah, it helps with efficiency,
Yeah,
which is what we value here at Icarus.
they just boil everything into a giant steam stew.
Hell yeah. So we can't. So now that's not enough. So our sanitation system revolves around heat. So if we blew up the sanitation system, that means that so that means that our heat system. Does that mean that our heat system gets taken out, or
Ooh, actually, if things get worse, maybe like in the process of trying to fix the heat source, like fix the sanitizer,
yes? So
the heat source gets completely taken out, which is preventing our ability to make steam.
what? Oh wait. So hang on. What if my dude does not find a way to?
Ooh.
What if Ronald and Frank? So Frank's with Ronald
Yep.
now. So Ronald Dinger and Frank Ticker. We can't find a way to fix the sanitation system without cutting the heat entirely.
Oh fuck. We're gonna crash land, dudes.
Actually, or maybe alternatively, maybe like you divert heat, which means that
Yeah, we need to
We
we need to divert the heat away from the sanitation system while we kind of
So-
duct tape it all back together.
So what if maybe what ends up happening is Icarus has to Icarus has to land in the water, like they have to slowly land in the water and use the heat to.
So we're gonna have
Um,
to, but depending on how high up we are, we're gonna have to have short bursts of steam in order to slow our descent.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be parking next to Apollo, who want us to fucking die.
Yeah. So
Okay.
after a slow descent, Icarus is landed floating in the water so that the heat can be redirected.
Fun
to the
fact:
steam.
now the populace
So
knows
the
that there's a
sanitize.
surface world.
After we just told them there was no conspiracy.
There's definitely no conspiracy. It's fine. We just gotta do a little soft.
we have lots of explaining to do.
We're gonna go land on a really big and really strange cloud. All right, so just chill. Don't look outside. We got this.
Yep. So we are.
So are we
currently,
calling a lockdown?
Yes.
Yeah, we're calling a
Absolutely.
lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So this is definitely the last turn coming up. We are 9 die high on this monument. Icarus has landed.
Forced to
Um,
land.
I don't.
Next to
Dude, the plot thickens.
Hello?
The plot's getting viscous, dude. Ugh.
Yeah.
lock.
This has escalated so much.
In this one turn, or in this one square,
Yeah.
everything's fucked.
Yeah.
Lockdown called.
Damn.
Yeah. So with the way things are, I get to start. I get to start things off. So
The Apollonian government
wanna
urges
just,
citizens to stop
yeah.
shitting in the river. It is no longer necessary
So-
for the war effort.
so I don't think Luigi has many other options other than trying to come up with a really good explanation of what the fuck is happening.
Right. Yeah. How you gotta spin this one, buddy?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna drag my name over to
Over to the lockdown.
yeah, because he just needs to find a really good explanation for what the fuck is going on, so people don't freak the
Yeah.
fuck out.
Okay. So you also need to draw your disaster card, I think.
Yep, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
An outside force tries to invade the city. Who are they, and what is the purpose of the?
Well,
Wait, we already had that one.
No. The previous one was they were starting a war, but like because we were encroaching.
now they're
Oh.
They
invading
hadn't
us.
invaded yet. They were.
So now, okay. So now they're invading us.
Yeah, that was the perfect time to
Yeah,
draw that
yeah.
card. Jesus
That's
fuck.
that was opportune.
Apollonians invade. Are they gonna fucking try to wreck our city?
Icarus has been boarded.
Icarus has been boarded.
They're showing up with their Apollonian swords.
Except they need to get through the engine rooms first.
Okay, so the
Wouldn't they?
Apollonians have are infiltrating the engine.
No, you have.
Hmm.
No, you have to remember they have some level like they've already have some level for steam technology. I think they can.
Oh,
just,
right.
come
They
from
can
the top
just
as well.
they can just fly up and land on our fucking town square up top.
Shit.
Yeah,
Our citizens.
it's a two-pronged
Our
invasion.
citizens, dude. Ronald, you gotta protect the citizens.
I tried, man.
They're up. The Apollonians are on our decks. They're right on our decks, and they've got their swords.
Okay,
And
okay.
their cultural freaking foot knives and all that stuff that Apollo definitely has.
Yeah. Okay, Tar, it's your turn next.
Okay, so as the Apollonians begin to invade, I think Ronald Dinger needs to try his hand at diplomacy.
Here we go.
The only sane one, the only one with a sound mind in this
the only-
entire.
Well, I mean, I have been down. Well, okay, so I've been down in the hot as hell engine rooms. Hopefully, I'm not suffering from heat stroke.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're not suffering from mad cow disease.
Actually, interesting. Like if we've sunk, is the engine room like kind of like underwater right now, or is it floating above the engine room? Where's the buoyancy start? Is it like the engine room? Is it above the water?
Well,
or is it
wait,
below
I
the
thought
water?
I thought we're on like the coast. I thought we were like on the beach, kind of next
Right,
to.
right, right.
Oh,
We're
okay,
not in the
okay,
straight
okay.
up
We're on.
ocean.
I will
We're
accept
not
it.
in the
I will accept
ocean.
that.
Yeah.
We
Okay, I accept that. I accept that reality.
we're not in the
I'll
ocean.
place
We're
with
on
my
the
own.
beach.
Okay.
You know, an entire city on the beach, right next to Apollo. So Apollonians begin to invade. Ronald Dinger needs to surface from the engine rooms, and he needs to try to talk to everybody, calm them down, say, "Hey, man, we've been trying to. I know you're upset about the people being slurped up. We tried to fix it." Just saying. So what's my disaster card?
An important part of the city has been quarantined. Where is it? What has caused it? and how are they keeping the quarantined citizens there from leaving?
Oh, we've already gone into
that's already
lockdown.
happened.
Yeah, we've gone to yeah, but I'm thinking let's expand it. So like the city's on lockdown, but like is there any specific part of the city that has been specifically quarantined for a reason?
It's been specifically quarantined for a reason. Do we want to say the engine rooms?
Yeah, I think I would definitely say the engine rooms. Maybe like if there's like I would say like especially like if diseases are starting to spread and stuff from like
diseases
the
are
stuff
starting
being
to
sucked
spread.
up.
We can't let them escape we can't let them escape the bottom floors.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're ground
the
zero for the illness.
So I'm actually
You've broken quarantine just now.
I guess I'm fucking breaking quarantine.
Well, I think Frank being being a government engineer, he's able to move freely between the quarantine zones.
Sure, but he might
Ronald?
be sick.
Ronald, yeah. Actually, or we could go down down the route of if we want to quarantine the engine room, maybe they're expecting the enemy to invade from the engine room, and that's why they cordon off, like they quarantine that off.
There, yeah, okay. So I guess we've discussed that someone needs to try to convince them. So we just send one volunteer up to
I mean, if you wanted to, you could potentially go like if the Bonflorians is quarantined, the Apollonians are invading from there. Perhaps Frank's trying to do like diplomacy to the Apollonians who are invading the engine room.
Frank's doing diplomacy to the engine room invaders. Ronald is up top talking to the people who are invading from above.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
I keep forgetting the characters' names. I'm starting to.
How can you get Ticker, Talker, and Dinger mixed up?
Frank Ticker is very that's a very memorable name. So we're gonna go down here.
Yeah, so let's see. So Luigi's up top trying to quell the people, and yeah, because that's what, and then
so as
like he's trying to come.
I like how Icarus has literally fallen already.
Yeah,
this is just
there we go. So as Apollonians invade both the engine rooms down below and the town square up top, Ronald Dinger and Frank Ticker negotiate.
We'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that. Like, yeah, they're trying to. Like, so you guys are doing the negotiations. I'm trying to be like, oh, there's a very good explanation, my fellow citizens, for why this is all that's happened. Okay. So, Lunch, it's your game.
Well, fuck. I guess I'm gonna try and negotiate.
Sorry, I kind of bunnied your character there.
No, it's okay. I did converge us.
I don't think there's much option right. There's not much option right now. It's like Icarus isn't very combat orientated.
That's true.
So, I mean, you can just
we don't really have a need for fighting people.
Yeah, we're kind of in the sky. So I'd say put your name next to Tars, just because you're trying to stop the invasion together.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm just going to negotiate, but from the perspective, honestly, I think Frank Ticker is going to try and now realizing that so much of now he's got a bigger idea of the picture of the conspiracy that is Icarus and how there's a ground world and stuff. So he's going to negotiate with the Apollonians, but like more like, can I join you? Our people are oppressed.
Well, I think I've also I think since Frank is like he's like because he's like sort of like this like AWOL engineer sort of person, he cares a lot about preserving the technology as well. And I could definitely see him being like, hey, Apollonians, I will help you build this technology so we can create a new floating city that's even better than before under your name. Because he cares about the technology.
Right. So it's like, hey, I can help you salvage what is left of this fucked up society, and we can work together. Just don't hurt the innocents.
Man, I hate that Trybien has this like insane fucking speechwriter, and Lunch has this deep character And meanwhile, my character is just trying to do his job. It feels like Ronald Dinger is kind of flat.
Well, no, my character is just my character job is being a linguist.
Yeah.
Like literally, my character is like I'm trying to do my job and it's failing.
I honestly, I might even feel I think I feel the worst for
Yes,
Ronald
but your
Dinger.
failures actually gives you your character.
Right.
Well, I think no, but I think what gives you your character is like you aren't failing. Society is failing
Yes,
you.
you're a weary,
Okay,
weathered
that's fair enough.
You're too hot,
Like,
and you're trying to save
it's
the world.
yeah, it's the same brand of character that is I would say like Edward, where it's like he's just really good at his job, but like you know.
He couldn't fix the sanitation system, so I mean,
Well, I don't think anybody could fix the sand. Like it was so badly damaged.
wasn't enough.
fair enough.
You know.
I talked it all up.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is Lunch's card.
Yep.
And I'm guessing this is like unless if we somehow like manage to all like successfully roll the next turn, this will probably be the last card we
Sure.
draw. We have reached the final hours.
Give me
So
the death blow.
the last part of the deck is called the final hours. Yep. Another city has risen up to rival Icarus in the region, and citizens are leaving to live there instead.
Well, I guess this is okay. I guess
it's okay.
yeah. So nobody
People just
this story just writes itself.
yeah, we don't even. I swear, I swear, this hasn't worked this perfectly before for me. This is just amazing.
I guess the people are like, well, we've been lied to. Everything's ridiculous. Let's join this other nation.
There's a ground world below us.
Let's join them, especially since they'll kill us otherwise, probably.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my god, that's so much water. And what is all this? What is all this? And you know, they're well past listening to the curfew at this point. And you know, they're not waiting for you know, Ronald and Frank to negotiate their lives.
This is just 2020 all over again. Nobody's listening to quarantine. Nobody's listening to lockdown.
They have. Some of them might have mad cow disease. It doesn't matter. They're just sprawling out of the place.
Yeah.
And they're finding ways to rappel
Exactly.
down the fucking down Icarus.
Down the side of the city.
Yeah. A couple
Yeah.
people fall off and die in the process. It's chaos.
Yeah. So you want to just throw that aspect
Yeah,
on
sure.
there, and then we'll get moving on to the. Okay. I'm
Hey,
adding
so
the
I
10th
guess we
die.
can't hold up that much weight with Steam anymore.
Yeah.
There's actually less people means less weight means less steam we have to use.
Oh, true. I mean,
Okay,
we
I
are
am
still a giant hunk of metal, so it's kind of a fart in a hurricane. But you know, the hurricane that's approaching both of us, apparently.
I am adding the 10th die to the tower.
Okay.
And it survived. The tower
Damn.
survived. That means we
What?
go into our
Oh,
die
shit.
rolls. I'm gonna take a picture of this just to send to you guys, just so like I'm not gonna like I won't post it elsewhere, but like
No, we
I
can
just want
have
you to
it
get an
like
idea of-
we can have it like we can have like a screenshot of it during the episode right about now.
Boom.
just so you guys get an idea of like what I'm dealing with here.
Oh, hot damn.
Oh my god.
Like that's what it.
Not bad.
That is an impressive die stack. Okay, so
And I'm paranoid. And I'm paranoid of accidentally knocking it over, which I didn't do. I knocked other stuff over, but the tower survived. So
Icarus will
yes,
not fall that easy.
Never.
So Luigi is currently attempting to be like, yo,
Icarusians are leaving
dudes.
city to join Apollo. Where are we branching
This
this one
is-
off from? Are we branching this off from Apollo? Apollonians are invading.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So like, yeah. Well, like from like, well, I'm talking. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. And that was a failure. Oof.
Wait, what was a failure?
So Luigi trying to convince people that like like kind of convince people that
Yeah,
nothing's
the
weird, nothing's
explanation
wrong.
is that you've been lying
he's-
to us, dipshit.
Yeah, so but good. There was no good explanation.
Mother
People are
talker.
now like, people are now like rioting and stuff, I guess, and like leaving. Like I would say maybe the exact example, but more was like people are joining with the Apollonians to attack Icarus.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's
Oh
upsetting.
no, brother slaughtering brother.
Hey, Ronald Dinger's up top. Stop failing me, society.
I'm just trying to do my job.
Holy shit! I managed 11.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, so
So just look at the picture and add one more die to that.
Yeah.
one more marshmallow. Oh my god.
So I'm
All
gonna.
right. So then it's my
gonna
turn to make a saving throw, right?
Yep. So I'm gonna put this down here because this actually connects to like the lockdown being called because he's trying to make an explanation for like forced to land.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it at that they begin to side with the Apollonians. Just because I know we're all trying to do convincing on our end.
Right on.
Okay. So next is Tar, who's doing his negotiations.
Yep. I'm
from
doing
the-
my negotiations with the Apollonians up top,
You know, if we
saying,
successfully,
"Hey, we didn't say we tried to solve the problems."
success!
Yes!
Success!
They
Yes!
listen to
We have
reason.
Ronald Dinger gets a win.
Ronald Dinger gets a win.
Okay, make your concepts. Make your concept card aspect right now.
Ronald Dinger is the true hero of this
He
story.
is.
He really
So-
is.
So now that I've succeeded, maybe I can push this forward by saying, "Hey, maybe you can." Hey, so since it's established that we don't mean any harm, maybe you guys can help us repair our systems,
Oh yeah.
and then we can be out of your hair
we
again.
promise to not suck up all of your resources anymore. We'll suck up that other city instead.
Yeah,
I could actually like say like even like going further like you can say like we'll share like we'll even share like just negotiations like we'll share like knowledge and whatnot with you like trying to build that alliance.
True.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna matter because I think Frank Ticker's gonna fuck up his check.
Yeah, Frank Ticker hasn't had the best time convincing people. The guy who's good with words has been down in the engine room the entire time.
Damn. Apollonians,
You know,
my
if,
name is Ronald Dinger, and I've had a long hell of a day.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and like So what does success look like for you, Lunch?
Okay.
Oh, what kind of what do I write for my aspect? Where do I attach that to?
I would say attach it to. It says remember this is Apollonians on the top because you're
Yes.
talking to them on the top. So
Oh,
attach it to the one where they're.
Oh yeah.
So
So
let's
this,
say-
I should attach it to my negotiations.
Yeah, exactly. So at least we know how one side of that negotiations go.
Yes.
I had a very similar goal to Ronald. I was negotiating and being like, hey, like, I was saying, right. I was saying these people have been oppressed and lied to. Please, like, don't just fuck all of us over. Like, don't paint us all under the same brush.
Yeah. Just let's rebuild the floating city together with your help
Yeah.
and make it a better world.
Right. So like right. So what Tyler's doing is like, hey, like we don't mean any harm, like help us get back up and running and we'll be allied cities from now on. While Frank is like, please fuck up our city, but don't destroy it because the people are suffering under it. So it's my thing is about the regime.
Well, I mean, Frank wants the government to be overthrown, but he wants the city
Yes.
to survive. Like the
Well,
city
Ronald
itself.
wants to keep the status quo as much as possible, and primarily just wants to save the people.
Well, I wanted people to not know that there was a surface world underneath, so my entire reason for being is kind of shot.
Yes, but like you don't have a concrete, well, let's take it over goal. You're just like, well,
His goal is just what's best for the people. That's
all right.
it.
So yeah, roll for me. Success is that.
So I guess my character development was maybe this was what was best for the people the entire time.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
And what I'm going for.
And that was
Oh,
a
no.
failure.
Shit.
Well, I guess the government isn't overthrown, is all.
I mean, you have to remember this is a level of negotiation. So, like, they didn't listen. Like, the people from below just didn't listen to you, and they continued their attack. Because you're trying to protect the city, but you have to remember, like, the Apollonians despise this floating city that's been stealing the resources. and killing
Okay,
the
so
people.
Ronald manages to convince the Apollonians over there.
I convince a group of Apollonians.
But the other attack team is still going at it.
I'm up top, you're at bottom. There's no way we can speak to the same people.
Well, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Then in that case, I think we're probably being fucking killed and thrown into the beach. And I think they're just tearing through and destroying shit.
Well, and I think Icarus has just fallen. The monument has fallen. Icarus is done for.
That was the last one.
That was the 12th die, and the monument. Like,
all of our
toppled.
technology,
Game's over.
All of our flotation, our slurpers, they've ruined it all.
So now that Icarus has fallen, we have to determine what was the cause of Icarus falling. Now there was a lot of stuff that happened, but the one individual thing that was like the final nail in the coffin.
Right. Is this?
I would say
something we choose from our aspects, or
so I would.
Is this?
I would say like I would say like. I would say like from our aspects, I'd actually say like interesting like with how this sort of played out, especially at the end. Frank was very specifically trying to keep them from destroying the city. Like he was like, you can overthrow the regime, you can take over the city, but he wanted to protect the architecture of the city itself. But he failed to do that, and I think that led the Apollonians from the bottom.
And this is why you don't do illegal engineering.
Yeah.
Stance.
I would actually throw out also.
I don't know.
It's like we have this like massive heat source. What if they did something to tamper with that or explode that, or something? And that's what led
true.
to,
There's
like,
gonna be if we're steam powered, there's a lot of pressure building up there.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I think if you want to make it one individual small thing, I would say the final negotiation, because if Ronald Dinger had managed to be the spokesperson in both areas, then like there would have been friendship and it would have been fine. It just would have been different. But instead they were taken over by half of the forces. However, if you want to talk about like the first, like I'd say the biggest cause of destruction is that they ever crossed Apollo in the first place. Apollo destroyed their everything about their entire way of life and everything by putting down some landmines and shitting in the river. They're like, you know what? We're done. We're done with you sky fucks.
I mean, I'd say even going further, I'd say the one thing that really caused problems for Icarus was
we didn't really have any way to communicate with the Apollonians below who were trying to fuck things up.
Yeah, it was the overall consumption of resources without the care of who we are affecting.
That's true.
That ultimately led to retaliation that we weren't prepared for because Icarus was.
We're too resource hungry and we don't know that there's anything below us.
Yeah. Well,
most of us don't.
From this perspective, even like the perspective of the government, like if you want to look at it from a government policy perspective, the government was, we're just going to suck up resources. We're not going to care about anybody else. We're up in the sky. Nobody can hurt us. Like the government
Hubris.
itself was, Like it was just pure hubris, like nothing, like which led to this downstream effect of the city being destroyed by the Apollonians, fucking up uh, the power, like the power source, at the very end, causing like the actual architecture of the city just to be like completely demolished. Like there's no recovery of the technology. There's no recovery of the architecture that was there. It's just falling apart.
Well,
from
I suppose the moral
killing million.
the moral
Like,
of the story is careful where you slurp.
And this has been Frozen a Landfill.
Signing off, bitch.
Signing off.